how about this man, Carson Kelly? Well, he hasn't been too much of a fall off with runners in scoring position as well. He's hitting a smooth 400, 5 long balls, and 19 RBIs. The combination of those two, 436 with ducks on the pond. That the most RBIs for any catcher's tandem right there. You see the Cubs right fielders, they're right in the mix as well. The Dodgers right fielders and Dodgers first baseman, they know how to get them on, get them over, and get them in. So when it comes to those two, pick your poison. They're about having nothing but a good time. And right here to give us a little something to believe in, our guy Bruce is here. And we know just how good that tandem has been all season long. They've done it defensively and offensively, and we know there's going to be a Midsummer's Classic, as always. Only one, not two like back in the day, once upon a time. So is there an outside shot of both of these guys having a star?
I mean, they're the two best offensive catchers in baseball. You saw the stats. That's the second most productive position in baseball, not catchers, but all positions. Okay. So you're talking about 25 RBIs from one guy, 23 from the other. As catchers, they are unmatched, and there's only been two times that catchers from the same team have gone to the All-Star Game, 1942 and 1960. Only 1960 where catchers from the same team caught in the All-Star Game.
In both games.
Yankees.
Yogi Berra, Elston Howard?
That's right, 1960.
So I think the outside shot is that you don't see both of these guys potentially, because 1960, that was a long time ago, Bruce.
What does that have to do with it?
Okay, all right. Well, things change.
They're
obviously.
both deserving guys right now. So their production is off the chart, and I think a good part of that production is the fact that they're able to get rested catchers every single day in that lineup. Elise, these offensive guys, normally catchers are worn out. Number one thing to do as a catcher is defense. These guys are rested when they go into the play.
Well, I think that's also what you see more and more is you need two guys. It's not really that you're just really...
Two really good guys, yeah.
But to Cole's point, I feel like, too, the time factor that 1960 was a while back, but also not happening a lot. So it's hard. It's hard to get two guys in. So I looked into the numbers because, I like to challenge you and just kind of do my own due diligence. Drake Baldwin with the Braves. He's been doing well, a young catcher, 24 years old. He's hitting .337 right now. Will Smith with the Dodgers, already a two-time All-Star. He's got a .455 on base. Maybe there's a catcher from the Cardinals. I think it'll depend on how they...
There's always William Contreras. Right?
Yes, True. But I feel like he's not having quite the season that maybe you could get him. I didn't look at his numbers.
When the fans go to make out those ballots...
That's true.
It's kind of conditioning, right? Oh, yeah, William Contreras
That's fair.
is a great...
Yes.
So my problem is both guys get on the ballot, and what do Cub fans do? They can only vote for one. Does that split it in half, and does neither one of them make it? But
neither one. One of them's got to make it.
Well, the manager's choice at the end on reserve, so that'll help as well. But this is historic. So the numbers they're putting up, they're projected to put up well over 100 RBIs. They're right on pace. They'll have over 20 to 25 home runs. So this is something that certainly they weren't projecting or hoping for.
Yeah, could Will Smith being dinged up, do you think that could throw off the fan vote? Because over the last few years, Will Smith, he seems to be the guy who gets the lion's share of votes, National League catcher, Bruce.
The problem is that other fans don't know either one of the Cubs catchers, right? The very astute ones who watch Cub games, of course. But, do you think in L.A. they're going to go, who's Kelly? Oh, yeah, I used to catch for Arizona. And who is Miguel Amaya? So there's not name recognition. That's why it's so tough to break in as an all-star, in particular as a catcher.
I've thought that Miguel Amaya, one of the reasons, I'm not taking anything away from him. He has put in the work. He's got more experience. He's healthy. But I do feel when you have a guy next to you like Carson Kelly, who is hitting the way he is, he's learning from a veteran catcher, but he's also trying to keep up, right? Like, I feel that's in part what's helping Amaya, too.
I think that's a great point, Elise, that they push each other, but at the same time, I don't know how much he's learning from Kelly because he's had some veterans behind him already.
True.
I think the health factor for Amaya is big. He had 2 arm surgeries. In the minor leagues, he hit like crazy. So I think he's just coming into his own. People forget last year was the first year that he was a full-time catcher.
He's still young. You forget
Very
that
young.
too because he's been around.
So again, this is a luxury that comes along once in a generation, maybe, and the Cubs have that opportunity to have 2 All-Star catchers.
Do you think they're getting in? Both?
I think there's a good chance.
And this is
they keep going like this.
People got to know their names.
I mean, yeah, but again, there's manager picking, helping pick the reserves.
Yeah,
So
this is a true tandem, essentially. We've seen Miguel Amaya. He started 24 games behind the dish. Carson Kelly tonight, his 27th start. Do you see some of the numbers changing as the season goes on? Maybe the younger of the two, Miguel Amaya, does he get a little more burn?
No, I think this is what you see is what you get. Two guys that nobody's catching 3 games in a row. Nobody is worn out. And you're seeing the very best out of them. I think, Craig Counsell deserves a lot of credit how he's handled them.
Well, we haven't seen 2 catchers make the All-Star team from the same team since 1960. Elston Howard,
was a
Yogi
great
Berra. Was Yogi Berra, is he the most underrated player in the history of baseball before we
Yogi
get our break?
Berra, underrated?
I think that was a no.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know, but he's got a lot of rings. No one ever says Yogi
He
Berra
has
when
the
you talk
most
about the
rings.
best of all time. Absolutely.
Most
And
All-Star bats by a catcher ever.
yeah, Bruce, you're an all-star every single day of
You
the
are.
week. And these fans, well, they're